What's up, everyone? Good evening. It is your girl, your diva in knowledge, Lady Mocha, here at Mocha's Cafe de Paris. Want to give a big ups to all of my subscribers. So many of you guys and you ladies have really been supporting my channel. I can't thank you more than enough for all your love, all your support, all your positive feedback and energy. So I definitely want to give a big ups to all of you out there and just thank you so much for all your support. Um, I know that most of the topics and most of the recipes that I contribute to the majority of you, most of my materials are pertaining to, have always pertained to Black women. And I've always tried to, walk a narrow line, especially when it comes to me expressing my feelings when it comes to other Black women, because Black women, they're my sisters, there's no way around it. Whether we want to be, whether we educated, uneducated, whatever levels we are on, Black women, we all are sisters to one another, and that's the way it is. And I know a lot of us will never really accept the reality of that, and that's cool. But I thought it was imperative that I did a video, because when I seen this video clip, it was really, really disturbing to my spirit, that I seen these two Black women basically go at it like two cats in an alley. And, we see this all the time, and this is what really grieves my spirit, because Black women, unfortunately, we have learned to become entertainers. And what I mean by entertainers is we have come to a point to where we thrive off an audience. We thrive off of attention, and even when it's negative attention. And I can tell from the moment that I saw this clip, it was already planned from the get go. This Black female is going into another Black female's job to add insult to injury. You're going to go on another woman's job to beat her, to physically put your hands on her. That's one of the lowest things you can do. And what really disappoints me about Black women, and let me start off by saying this: if it doesn't apply, you don't have to reply. I'm not saying all Black women are no good. I'm not saying that all Black women are ratchet. I'm not saying that all Black women are uneducated. I'm not saying all Black women are pathetic. But unfortunately, we are the ones that are really setting the bar in the area of ratchetness. Okay. And I know, right, all races in some caliber or another have some type of ratchetness, But what's starting to happen is Black women, we're starting to, you know, uh win first place in the ratchet area, because we are the ones that's getting the most exposure. And as much as I want to state that, that's not our fault, it is, because the only way people could keep exposing us if we're the ones that are doing it. Okay. At one point in time, I used to blame the media and say, well, it's only Black women that they're showing, they're not showing other races. But even with other races that are being displayed in this mockery manner, they still don't get as much exposure as we do. And they don't get as much exposure because they're not doing it as often and as frequently as we do. So I felt it was very imperative that I shared this clip with all of you, so you can get a very strong indication as to why I'm so passionate about this particular matter, this particular recipe topic that I'm going into. Because this is not one of those topics that I really uh, am doing for likes or for extra subscribers. This topic is more serious to me for the simple fact it hits close to home, because I'm a Black woman. And not only am I a Black woman, I've been raised by a Black woman, and I also have given birth to another Black woman that's coming up in this next generation. And it seems like every generation of Black women is starting to diminish. We're losing our morals, we're losing our values, and we're definitely losing our common sense. As I stated, this clip that you have witnessed, before I go before I actually started speaking within my commentary. It shows you how disgraceful we have become. And when I say we, in a sense, I'm including myself in the matter, because the bottom line is no matter how different I try to carry myself, no matter how educated, no matter how many degrees, it is because of Black women that carry on like this. It makes it harder for Black women as myself and other Black women who want to be successful, who want to be known for something positive. It makes our job 20 times harder. We have to prove ourselves even more, because the bottom line is, until a person really gets to know me, until they really come close enough to me and I allow them to step within my circle, the moment they see me, they're going to automatically have this perception of me based on these type of incidences that occur all the time. Every time there's two Black females, I don't care if they're young, I don't care if they're old, when there's two Black women that are carrying on in this manner and it becomes viral for the whole world to see, all it does is it makes Black women have to fight even harder to earn their dignity and earn their respect. And this is the reason why, ladies, and even though this video is for the men to view and the women to view, this message is specifically for my fellow Black women, my fellow sisters. This message is specifically for us, because right now we are in a war, and the war we're in, when it's not the war that a lot of us have tried to place it upon. A lot of black women have assumed their war was against white women, or have assumed their war was against the white man. And in many cases, we assume our enemy or war is between us and Black men, when really we are at our own war, and our own war is within each other. This is the reason why we do not get the respect, and we do not get um we just really don't get the right recognition for the things that we do and who we are, because of incidents like this, with Black women fighting and physically putting their hands on one another. This is the reason why we have so many brothers that are going in so strongly on us on their channels. Okay, if you look at the majority of our channels, the majority of our own brothers are going in on us, and they're going ham on us, because it's getting to the point to where they don't even know how to take us for who we're supposed to be, which is grown women. They don't even look at us in that light. And even though all of us are not carrying on in this manner, but it's just the fact that there are Black women out there who are carrying themselves in this manner. Like I said, now this makes it harder for us to break the mold. This makes it hard. We have to prove ourselves even more now. Now we have to fight even harder to stand above the rest, because every time when incidents like this go viral, all it does, it diminishes the value of being a Black woman. Okay, because whether we want to accept it or not, because I know that often when things like this occur, the first thing a Black woman says, well, there's white women who do it. There's Latino women that scrap it in the street. My thing is, I don't care what other races are carrying on in this manner. The problem is we're the ones that are getting the most exposure. And because we're getting the most amount of exposure, this is even more of the reason why we should be fighting to stray away from that. If you already know, as a Black woman, uh, we catch the most heat, we catch the most negativity. We the ones that are always the first runner up when it comes to the ratchet contest. That should be even more of the reason. That should strive you even harder to stray away from that, because if you already know that is what the world expects of you, and that is how the world perceives you, why for the life of me would you give them that? Why would you give them that if you already know that's how they perceive us to be? Why would you help them? Why would you hand why would you give them confirmation that the way they see us or the way they feel about us, that they should feel that way. Because we are loud. We are bigoted. We are egotistical. We are know-it-alls or whatever labels they have when it comes to being a Black woman. Why would you help them out? I strive on a daily to stray away from this typical stereotype of being a Black woman. Being loud, being rude, being obnoxious, always got to have the last word. Um, Whenever I'm being confronted about something, I got to bring up other races. You know, this is unfortunately, this is the character that we have built by ourselves. And even those of us who are trying to stray away from not being seen in that light, we're still going to catch the heat. Because as I stated before, the majority of male commentators that have their own channels on YouTube, you may have one or two that may really fight for us and try to give us the best encouragement, try to uplift us, try to, you know, produce that. But even with that, this is the reason why we catch so much heat, because of sisters like this. And I'm quite sure, I'm not sure what event took place, what was the drama that provoked it to get to the level as to where another Black female, she had to come on this woman's job to physically fight her and assault her. This woman is working, okay? So my thing is, damn, you know, you must be don't have a job for you to be willing to jeopardize another woman's job. But you know what? That doesn't surprise me, because when Black women get angry with each other, we go for the gusto. We cutthroat. I hear Black men complain about Black women all the time, saying how conniving, how evil, how low down we can be. We'll call a man on them, or call a probation officer on them, or snitch on them and report, you know, any little undercover dealings with the law, you know, when we get upset with them. I agree. Women could be very cutthroat with Black men, but guess what? We are very cutthroat with each other. I've seen other Black women call housing on another Black woman, knowing they was friends at one point in time, and one knew that the other one was making extra money on the side because the little part-time job she had wasn't enough for her to pay her bills while she was in housing. Her and the old girl fall out. She goes and do what you think she goes and do? She goes straight to her housing. Okay, I've known some cases in which female will fall out with another female and will call defects on them, get defects involved. And anybody who's ever dealt with defects know that is the worst low blow thing you could do to a woman, is report defects to her and says that she's an unfit mother, she's a neglectful mother. Because once defects gets into your business, they are relentless. They never let up. And I've never experienced these things as far as losing housing and uh, being reported on, but I have lost something very significant, all because I got close to the wrong female and she was a Black woman. And basically, me and her had an issue, a personal issue that had nothing to do with our job, but because we had a disagreement, and you know, neither one of us had enough, I would say, neither one of us, both of us was too prideful to go settle our differences. So what happened was we allowed it to manifest to the point it transferred over into our jobs, and we both ended up losing our jobs over something that could have easily been resolved. But before I really go into anything further, to give you insight on that situation, um I've always tried, like I said, I've always strived to try to, you know, stand above that stereotype. And sometimes, depending on what situation you get in or who you get involved with, sometimes people have a way of making you stoop down to their level. And that's what had happened to me in my situation with my ex-friend. You know, I had allowed myself to basically, I made myself vulnerable by being too open, sharing too much of my personal business, sharing too much of my secrets. And all this time, while I'm thinking I had a real friendship, and in friendship, you should be able to share your hopes, your dreams, your fears with another individual, not realizing that the moment you and this person have an issue or y'all fall out, this person could utilize everything you ever told them to their advantage. Because let's face it, when it comes to some of these friendships, some people are just sore losers. They're sore losers. And when things don't work out, some people will go for the gusto. They'll either air your dirty laundry, or either they'll try to screw your man, or either they'll try to set one of their girls up to mess with your husband. I mean, so women could really stoop very low. They can go below the belt when it comes to trying to prove a point. And that is my point, that a lot of Black women are having a hard time understanding that just because you have to prove a point is certain levels, to the extent to where, it's just not necessary for us to take it to the extent we have to take it to. As I stated with this clip here, this female went to the other female job because it was all about making a point. Her point was, based on the altercation they had, she was, from what I can decipher, she was saying that the other lady, the lady that was on the job that she attacked, was talking junk. My thing was, so what if she was talking junk? Everybody talks junk. It was that serious for you to go on this woman's job and beat the living daylights out of her, not understanding that in the long run, she's really messing herself up, because when she went into this place of business, for one, you are already in the wrong because you went onto this lady's job. Okay, you didn't even go in there and buy a bag of chips or got you a soda to make it look like you was just going in there as a customer. That's how dumb you was. So it's automatically going to be known that her intentions of going in on our property was for drama. Okay, all of that is going to be on camera. The moment she approached this woman who was on her job behind the register, doing her job as a cashier, that's already a strike against her. Like I said, the second strike is, not only did you put your hands on her, not only was you on this woman's job when you did it, you are on camera. Okay, so even if you want to lie about it and say, I don't know what you're talking about, I wasn't there, not only Circle K or whatever the convenience store was that had the cameras, had recorded you, you had the audacity to have one of your homegirls, one of your flunkies, who evidently was a drama queen too. She's recording you approaching this female on her job. So basically, the prosecutor's going to look at the fact that all of this was planned. If you was already going up there recording, like I've mentioned to the guys as well, whenever somebody approaching you and they got a homeboy or a homegirl recording them, that already lets you know it's something up. Something real flaky or shady is about to go down. The moment you come in my face popping junk and you got your homegirl with her iPhone or her Android recording, I'll automatically know, okay, you up to no good. Why you coming up here recording? You know why? Because you already done plotted and planned. Yeah, we gonna get her. I want this to go viral. I want this to go live. All because, again, Black women have cursed themselves with the disease of wanting to prove a point. And we do it on so many levels. If it ain't with each other, we do it with each other's men. Okay, and guys, of course, I'll hold you accountable, because if you're in a relationship and you're out here messing with other women, as soon as you and that woman fall out, or as soon as y'all have a disagreement, you already know she going straight to your front door with it. And she ain't got no problem bringing it to your wife or bringing it to your main girl, because she got nothing to lose. And that's the way it is. As I stated, now women have gone to the extreme of proving a point by sleeping with each other's men. Okay, I'm gonna prove to you that I can still get his sausage anytime I want. Yeah, I know he put the ring on your finger. Yeah, I know he bought you the big old home. Yeah, I know he y'all had y'all honeymoon in Vegas, but guess what? I'ma take a picture of him knockout passed out in my bedroom and I'ma send it to you. I'ma post it on social media. So the proof a point that I can still get your husband anytime I want. It is just ridiculous how low we have stooped, ladies, to proving a point. And that's just another example that I use. Like I stated, women have now, they've taken being low to a whole nother level. Like I stated, going on this woman's job. Now this lady may lose her job because of that. Manager may look at it and like, you know what, I apologize this happened to you, but I cannot have this chaos or conflict or call my property. I'm gonna have to let you go. Now how she's gonna pay her bills. This is what I'm saying. Black women have reached a new low. We will call black women and not, and again, let me make this clear. If it doesn't apply, you do not have to reply. I'm not talking about all black women. If you are a black woman and you know you're not ratchet and you know you're not the type of broad to go on somebody's job and beat them down, or you ain't calling a housing on them and you ain't schooling somebody's husband, then this category is not for you. Okay? Now, if you are a black woman that is carrying on in this manner and you are doing these below the belt things, most likely I'm gonna know it's you because you're gonna thumb me down anyway. Because whenever a hit dog a holler, you know what I mean? But that's besides the point. If it's not you, you don't have to get offended by the message. This message is specifically pertaining to the black women who have stooped to the level of thoughtism, okay? Of just being a straight drama drag queen, just drag queens willing to drag one another through the mud just to prove a damn point, you know. As I stated before, when you get to the point where you make somebody lose their livelihood, you are past childish. You are straight ignorant. To take it to the point to where a woman loses her job, you cause a woman to lose her kids, you cause a woman to lose her marriage. You ain't even on the Richter scale. You off the scale. You don't even have a number. You not even a zero. And we know zero is not even a number. You just absolutely nothing to ever take it to that extent. Because my thing is, why would you even let another sister know that you have that much, that she has that much power over you, to where she can make you become just that hateful, to where you're willing to take away her livelihood? And that's what a lot of black women are not understanding. We give each other power. When it gets to the point to where I can make you angry to the point that you're willing to jeopardize my job, you're willing to jeopardize my marriage, my home, or whatever. I mean, that just displays to me how much of a threat I am to you. Because my thing is, even if you know somebody don't like you, even if you know somebody hating on you, my thing is, why would you give them the power of letting them know how much hatred you have by intentionally causing them to lose something? That's just a big red flag that you are threatened by this other woman. Because if you wasn't threatened by her, you wouldn't care nothing about her, what job she got, what she driving. You could always tell. Put it this way, ladies: if you ever been in a situation where you and a female fell out, or y'all had a disagreement, or whatever the case was, things went left, and she goes after your job, causes you to lose your position, that was because she was threatened with you on that job. She was threatened that you was a better employee than her, a more better candidate than her. That's why she went after your job and caused you to lose it, because you was a threat to her in that department. If she goes after your man, your husband, whatever, any man or husband that falls for this crap and decides to screw his old lady's enemy or whatever, then you just as dirty as her or whatever. But that's a whole nother subject for a whole nother time. That's because your relationship is a threat to her. Your happiness is a threat. Your marriage is a threat. Basically what I'm saying, anything that's a threat to another female, that is what she's going to go after. And especially if y'all were friends at some point in time and you displayed that with her, and I'm a living witness. I'm guilty of that. This particular female knew how I felt about my job. She knew I had a lot of insecurities on my job because there was a lot of cutthroat going on with management, and they were terminating people left and right. And me and her banded with each other on the strength of that, because we knew the job had a lot of cracks in it, and it was a lot of shady and underhanded stuff going on. So we caught ourselves building the buddy system. So once we disbanded, and I saw her for who she truly was, and I decided to walk away from the situation. That was the approach I did. I didn't air her dirty laundry. I didn't go after her man. I didn't. Well, I'm the kind of person. I'm the type of female. Once I'm done with you, I'm done with you. I do not have to come after you and make trouble for you. I let karma work its own magic. Okay, I'm not about to go after your husband. I'm not about to go after your job. I'm not about to go after your kids. Once I'm done with you, I'm done. And that's what I did. I walked away and wipe, dust the hands, dust the dirt off my hands, and I kept it moving. She couldn't handle it. She hated that I saw her for who she was, and instead of feeding into the drama and going behind her and trying to make her life miserable, she came after me. And then that was when I had to pull I had to pull I had to start I had to put some bullets in my chamber. Not literally, I didn't kill anybody. Make sure I let everybody know that. But basically, once she pulled the trigger on me and caused me to lose my job, all because me and her had a disagreement, and I'm not going to kiss your behind. I'm not going to beg and try to make friendship work, because to me it comes a point that once you get grown, there's no such thing as making up. I ain't trying to be funny. The only time you need to make up is if you and your husband had an argument and y'all have some makeup sex or something like that. But when it comes to grown folks, I don't try to make up no more. Only way I'm gonna try to make up, we will have to have some real deep history, and I'm the one in the wrong. That's the only way I'm gonna try to call. I will be willing to call you and go after you and try to make things right with you. But you somebody I only known a couple of months, I'm not about to do no makeup. Ain't no makeup, ain't no can we fix it. I'm been out the business of making up with grown folks. If I don't have a history with you, I wasn't the one in the wrong, I'm not doing it. And that's what I did, and basically she couldn't handle that, and this is what I'm stating about Black women. We are each other's worst enemy. We don't know how to gracefully bow down and bow out of things when things just don't work out. We have to always take things to another level, because it's all about winning. And what it is, Black women, the majority of us are feeling so oppressed and we're feeling so defeated because all of us are angry about something. Let's just face it, we all are angry. Now, I know there's a sister already saying right now, don't go put me in that category. I'm not angry. I'm not upset about nothing. If you are already thinking like that, you are angry. You just told on yourself right then. We all are angry about something, but the problem is a lot of us have failed at learning how to manage that anger. Okay, meaning we all have pain. We all have regrets, things we wished we could have done differently, and the majority of Black women are in bondage today for usually one or two reasons. Either her upbringing, either it was poverty or abuse. It was one of the three. Or if you didn't have the best type of upbringing, you didn't have a mother that prepared you for the world and taught you right from wrong, you 9 times out of 10 you're going to have a lot of anger issues, because that means you have to go out here and pretty much fend for yourself. Let's face it, a lot of Black women are not as fortunate as other women of other races, because the majority of us were raised and brought up in single parent homes. And some of our mothers, they are the demise of that. Some of them caused us to be uh raised in single parent homes because either she was a mom who just didn't give a damn and was wilding out, and no man wasn't willing to stick with her and deal with her because she was too wild, she was too hoarse, she was too much, whatever the case was. Or she was a good woman, but she just had a raw deal, just kept taking chances on the wrong kind of men, you know, who wasn't dedicated, who was cowards and didn't stick with her. So a lot of black women, a lot of us have been cheated out of having a unit of a family, you know. So a lot of us are angry from that because we didn't always have daddy there, or you know, the mama we did have was too busy doing her, or every other week mama had a different uncle, a different John coming by the house, you know. A lot of that had confused us and made us, you know, build a certain type of animosity, you know. So upbringing has a lot to do with, you know, the majority of us being angry. Poverty, a lot of us, like I said, stated came up in single parent homes. Unless you had one of those single parent mothers that was very determined. Not saying she had to be a rich mom, but she was a determined woman and she didn't allow circumstances to defeat her. You know, if you didn't have a mother that wasn't strong in that sense, you had a mother who, you know, just allowed her circumstances to constantly trouble her and make her feel defeated, then you basically got cheated out of having a real mother, because basically you had to fend for yourself. She wasn't really, she was there, but she wasn't really there to teach you nothing. You had to teach yourself, and the worst type of teaching is self-taught. That's the worst type of teaching, is to be self-taught, because none of us came into this world already knowing what to do. A lot of us have to be taught. That's how you survive. We have to be taught from others, those who have been here long before us. You just don't come into this world knowing what to do. So if from day one you had to teach yourself everything, you was already doomed. If not that, you know, there's a lot of black women who will never discuss it, but a lot of black women are walking around here angry, ticking time bombs, because a lot of them have experienced sexual abuse. A lot of them have been molested. If not by their own fathers, their own relatives, their own uncles, in some cases, their own brothers. Um, or if not, if it wasn't family related, you know, mom or boyfriend, or mom and fiance, you know, or mama fiance brother used to come spend the night. I mean, it's some real Tyler Perry episodes that a lot of women have experienced in real life, you know, with molestation and sexual abuse. A lot of women, a lot of black women are still, and you know, not just black, you know, some white women too who have experienced it, but you know, black women, we take our anger to a whole nother level that not many other races have resorted to. You know, a lot of us are still are walking around ticking time bombs, just waiting to explode, waiting for that one moment for us to just explode, because we have so much built inside of us. We have a lot of pain, we have a lot of anger, we have a lot of bitterness from being abandoned by our fathers, in some cases, from being molested by our fathers. Hell, in some cases, not even having a father. You know, a lot of us are scorned and bitter because of that. And what happens is, the moment there's a situation or something takes place, we utilize that moment to explode. My thing is, for this lady to come up to this woman's job, it was more than just some he say, she say. 9 times out of 10, whenever we see two black women in the street scrapping, we already know what it's over. It's either over he say, she say, pot or pipe. It's one or the other. It's he say, she say, a pipe. That's the only two ways two reasons you're gonna see two hyenas scrapping in the street like that. And in this case, I don't blame the girl who was working, because she's on her job. Ain't like they was in the street. This other female, this bot actually came on this woman's job and just physically put a pause on her. My thing is, it wasn't for just that reason. This female had a lot of other personal things going on. A lot of personal things. And what she did was, she utilized all of her own personal BS that she's going through. Whether, I don't know the situation personally, I don't know what took place. Whether if her man left her to go be with another girl, or her sister fell out, you would be surprised all the animosity and all the grudges that a lot of black women around here hold, and they holding themselves hostage to a lot of pain. And that's why the moment a black woman is allowed to express her anger, she goes in full throttle. Why you think you see these videos and You see, not all black women, if it doesn't apply, you don't have to reply. But if you look at some of these videos on YouTube, you see a black woman flipping out at KFC because she ordered white meat and they missing gave her dark meat. And she flipping out, wanting to jump over the counter and damn grab the manager by his tie. Or you see a black woman flipping out in the parking lot all because somebody missing backed into her and only put a scratch on her car so small you would need a microscope to see it. A lot. Do y'all understand where the outbursts come from? Where the rage coming from? It's not about KFC gave her the wrong chicken. It's not about she was at the nail shop and Lulu missing gave her the gel wrap instead of the acrylic. These outbursts are coming from I'm pissed off about a lot of other things in my life that got nothing to do with this current situation. But what I'm going to do is utilize all of my hate, all of my anger, all of my bitterness, all my resentment, all of the problems I created for myself that I have yet to hold myself accountable for. I'm going to put all that in one and lash out as soon as the opportunity presents itself. It's not many black women that are going to admit that, but that is the majority of our problem. A lot of times when we going in strong on somebody, it has very little, that situation at that time, maybe 10% of it may be that situation, but the other 90% is because we angry about a whole lot of other stuff. And the reason why a lot of the majority of black women are so angry is because a lot of y'all have put too many burdens in your life. And until you can be real with you and come clean to yourself and admit that, you're going to walk around here with an attitude. You're going to walk around here angry. You're going to walk around here bitter. You're going to walk around here in your feelings with your nose up in the air. And what I mean by that is a lot of us have created our own burdens. You know, if you started being sexually active at a young age and you got all of these children, you got 3, 4 kids and you barely 24, you barely 25, you didn't get the education you needed to get, you wasn't blessed to come in a family that was able to help you, let you continue the legacy they started. You had to fend for yourself. You got to scratch for everything. You got to basically dig for change in your sofa cushions to try to make ends meet. You're not getting no help from your baby daddies because you was too busy looking at how good they look versus if they would be good for you. You know, you got all these baggage and all these responsibilities, and you have made yourself a woman before your time. And here it is now, you 30 going on 40. You still angry about that because all of the decisions that you made at a young age based on not having a real mother or a real foundation or any real structure that has caused you to make a lot of irrational decisions to this day has burdened you, and you are feeling the wrath of that burden. And a lot of this has a lot to do with why you're angry. It got nothing to do with you not getting the child support. You want to blame it on child support. It got nothing to do. That's 10% of it. It got nothing to do with your kid's father ain't helping. Yeah, that's some of it. You know, it got nothing to do with daddy wasn't always there. That's some of it. But it have everything to do with a lot of y'all are angry because y'all put more on yourselves than y'all can handle. That's the problem with the majority of my sisters out there. They do not want to admit they got too much doggone baggage. You got too much baggage, and brothers are running away from you like you got a disease. The moment they approach you and they see you got a full package, even if you don't have a bunch of children, it's more than one type of baggage to have now. I'm not knocking those who got 3 or 4 children. You can have emotional baggage. You could be a woman that has no children, but because you have gone through all type of things in your childhood, you never got any spiritual or professional help for it. Guess what? You got baggage. Or if you was a woman who never got past all the men who you allowed to come into your life, who used you and sucked you dry and left you for dead, guess what? You got emotional baggage. That's still baggage. Whether emotional baggage, You got a bunch of children, that's financial baggage. Or you can have both. You can have a lot of emotional problems, and on top of that, have a lot of children. Or even if you don't have a lot of kids, you could be one of them women you really in debt because you figure because you don't have no children, you can live like the rich and famous. You go out here and buy cars that you can't afford. Go out here and buy homes you can't afford. You struggling and fighting to make ends meet because you're trying to use your image to cover up a lot of pain or to cover up areas in your life where you are lacking. And a lot of black women try to do that. And this gets on my nerves with a lot of us sisters. When we're struggling in one area, whatever little area in our life, we feel like we accomplished something in, that's the area we want to highlight the most. Don't y'all notice that? For example, to give y'all a better understanding of what I'm saying. Like, for example, I'm going to put two females in front of you. I'm going to use Keisha and I'm going to use Kim. Okay, Keisha has 4 or 5 children, never went to school, never been married. So she got to constantly hype up and brag about her children all the time. That's all she's ever talking about. Me and my kids. I got me and my kids. I don't care if another man never want to be in my kids' life. I am their mama. I am their daddy. I don't need no man. I'm doing good. I take care of my kids. She has to highlight that part of her life because that's the only part of her life she feels like she has accomplished something. Okay? Then you got Kim on the other hand. Okay, she don't have no 3, 4 baby daddies, all right? She's married. She's living a good life or whatever. But she can't have children, okay? Because there's just an example, because maybe there's a medical issue. So what she does is to compensate for the pain of not being able to have any children, she's always bragging about her husband. She's always bragging about her house. And like I said, Keisha got to always brag about her kids because even though she was able to produce kids, that was all she was able to produce. So she's going to overly brag about her children to compensate for the lack thereof, not having a man and not having accomplished anything else. Do y'all see where I'm going with this? This is what I mean by this is why black women have built so much anger. And even when you try to brag on that one thing you have accomplished because you have not succeeded in those other areas, that still makes you angry. Because at the end of the day, we all want to live the American dream. Okay. And the reality is, I don't care how beautiful you are, how educated you are, we all are going to fall short somewhere. But what happens with the bitter woman, the angry, the immature woman, she wants to hype up the area in her life where she feels she's accomplished anything because sometimes people get high off of trying to make other people feel bad about their situation. And black women are strong candidates at that because a lot of us are miserable within our own selves. And again, if it does not apply, you don't have to reply. Not all black women, just some black women. Some women, some females get aroused off of poking at another woman's failures. I've seen women do it. I've seen women who know another woman couldn't have kids and she'll brag about her children all the time. Or this woman who could never have kids, but she got good big money in the bank. She can travel, she can come and go. She's always bragging about her trips, always bragging about where she's been. Women always have to put another woman down. And the only women that do this are women that are broken and have low self-esteem, because if you are confident in you and you assure yourself, you don't have to target or downgrade or demean another woman's progress just to make yourself worthy or just to make yourself feel whole. Because the bottom line is everybody has something, but not everybody has everything. You're going to go lacking somewhere. And I believe God intentionally has designed life that way. So none of us won't think we're perfect, because if you had everything you wanted all of the time, then what that means, you're perfect. And in this world, as long as we're living in this world, you are designed not to be perfect, meaning that you're going to struggle in some areas. But instead of knocking other women that are not on the level as you are, what you can do is embrace each other and build each other's um areas where there's struggle. Like if I'm a woman and I know you can't have children, maybe I can share my children with you. You know what I mean? By allowing you to be the godmother, allowing you to blessing you with the privilege of having my children in your life so you could somewhat fulfill that void of not being able to produce children. Not that it'll make you 100% whole, because people still want their own children. But if I'm a real sister and I have any real compassion for my fellow sister, that's what I would do. Or if I'm a sister that got a good job and I'm making good money or whatever, instead of me bragging about it to other sisters, why don't you try to put them on and help them out? But what happens is, again, women, we're so used to being oppressed, because the problem with being a black woman is we have two strikes against us. The first strike is we're black, okay, and let's accept it. So a lot of racism still going on within the world, but I can't complain. God is good compared to what our ancestors went through. I have no right to complain based on what Rosa Parks, Dr. Martin Luther King, we're still not going through nothing compared to what our ancestors had to go through. At least we can go to any McDonald's, we can use any bathroom, so nobody needs to even complain about, oh, racism is still so bad. It's bad, but it ain't like what it was during the 50s. You know what I mean? You can use anybody's bathroom. You go sit down in the restaurant with any color and not be put out, you know. But we got two strikes against us. We're black and then we're women, you know. So because of that, you know, we're unfortunately, sisters, we are on the bottom of the totem pole. But God is still good, because there's a lot of successful black women who have made it. So we have no excuse to feel like it's impossible. You know, there's a lot of black women that are judges, that are lawyers. You know, our first lady, you know, President Obama's wife, Michelle Obama, beautiful, successful black woman. So God is steady, you know, blessing black women with opportunities, so other black women will feel like we're not totally at a loss for not getting anywhere. We can accomplish just as much as any those before us who have. But what's holding us back, a lot of us, we holding our own selves back, and if we're not, we holding each other back. It's not even the black men that are doing it. You know, it's not the white man, it's not the white women. A lot of us as black women, we are holding our own selves back from being as powerful and being as successful as we could be, because we're too busy in bondage. We're too busy in bondage with all the baggage that we have created. We're too busy in bondage by hating on one another. You know, when really all of us are in some type of struggle. So just because somebody's doing a minute better than you in another area, there's no need for you to throw shade or for you to be hating on her because she's struggling in an area that you may not be struggling in, and vice versa. You know, but it just really grieves my spirit every time I run across these videos and I see two black women you know, basically scrapping like hyenas, like two dingy, dirty cats in the alley. It's disturbing to me, you know, because it lets me know that we have not arrived, we have not grown. And for all you mothers who got black daughters, if you're not teaching them anything, then it's shame on you for not teaching your daughters to be bigger than that, you know, because you as a black woman, you already know the struggles you had to go through. You already know the struggles you're going through. So you need to be teaching your daughters better. You need to be teaching your daughters to avoid as much drama as possible. I mean, these young women are already have so much got so much responsibilities on themselves. I'm going on 40, and I know some 23 and 24 year olds that got way more responsibility and burdens than I could ever imagine, than I've ever had in almost my 40 years being on this earth. You know, because again, a lot of these young black women have not been taught, have not been raised the right way, because these black mamas, you know, some of these black mothers are still trying to be young themselves. Instead of them being mothers, they trying to be their daughters' friends. They hanging out with their daughters. And I'm not saying I got something against, I see something wrong with a mother hanging out with her daughter. But the thing, the bottom line is, it's all right to go out with your daughters and stuff here and there, but you're not on the same level as them. You don't need to be going to the clubs. You don't need to be trying to catch a man with your daughter. I mean, your time has expired, boo. You need to focus on trying to build something, you know, and teaching her things. That way she can avoid half of the pitfalls that you have landed in, you know. And I'm just so fed up with black women trying to sabotage and trying to really, you know, complicate each other's lives all over something petty. I'm sure whatever the issue was that this young woman had to go on this other woman's job, to beat her down in her place of business. I'm sure whatever it was not that serious. And even if it was, you don't threaten somebody's livelihood. But like I said, I've seen it all the time. I've seen black women get mad with their best friends and they fall out. They report housing on them. They report food stamps. I'm like, it's just terrible that black women have stooped to this level, and we wonder why other people outside of our races don't respect us. We wonder why these black men who come on here and commentate go so hard on us. We want to type long paragraphs under their comments and saying, how dare you talk about black women? How dare you go in on us? How dare you? We do it with each other. How can we expect other people to respect us when we don't respect ourselves? Some of us don't even respect ourselves. You leave the house looking like got a back page appointment, just no respect, anything to get attention. Because as I spoke earlier today about, attention has become the new drug for a lot of broken black women around here. It's a lot of women walking around here with low self-esteem who have to constantly look for praises and be validated. They got to medicate their pain through false compliments. A person even got to mean what they say, but just because they say it, a man can sit down line and say, "Oh, baby, you beautiful, you fine." They'll run with that and get high for that compliment, like the man who's telling them that really means it. When in actuality, all he wants to do is get in her drawers. He don't even find you. In some cases, some of these men lie to y'all and tell y'all attractive, tell you look good, and while you walk around here batting your false eyelashes and everything, thinking that they really into you like that, they just really want to get into you. and that's really what it boils down to. But I'm not gonna go on about this forever. But again, like I said, if it doesn't apply, you don't have to reply. This video is not pertaining to all black women. It's pertaining to these ratchet black women. A lot of my sisters out there, I'm sure y'all would agree, if you're a real woman, you're a mature woman, and you don't support this ratchet behavior, you would agree that black women, we are each other's worst enemy at times. We are so busy worrying about everybody else being a threat to us when we are a threat to each other. And in many cases, a lot of us are a threat to our own selves. If the majority of us learn how to love ourselves more, you love yourself, you wouldn't even stoop to the level of going to somebody's job and beating them down, or going after somebody man, or going after somebody housing, and going after somebody, causing somebody lose their children. You wouldn't even stoop that low. If you really, you know, self-fulfilled, you're not even going to utilize your energy, on something so petty, because whatever it is petty. So I hope this message, I hope somebody receives it the right way. And again, even though this message was predominantly from the ladies, I had to share with the guys, because I know our black men, they see the way we carry on, they see the way we just condone this ratchet behavior. I don't know what it is about black women and cameras. It seems like when the camera is turned on, we just go up another notch to ratchetness. And I don't get it. I mean, it, are you that deprived where you willing to get attention by any means necessary, to the point you have to tell your girlfriend to make sure she's recording on her phone that you're going to go beat down another female? I mean, the way that was just sad. The way that girl was screaming, and you know, I could just tell she was just blowed, because you don't expect somebody to come on your job and just beat the living daylights out of you like that. But at the end of the day, that's gonna be her karma. It's all gonna come back on her, because now she got charges, and why she think it's funny and why she think it's cute, she's gonna have to go to prison. You know, then she's gonna deal with females in jail that's just as big as her, got egos just as big as she does, and they're gonna bully her just like she came on this job and bullied this broad. I mean, you reap what you sow. I tell people all the time, whatever you put out there is what you get back. You put out bad, you're gonna get back bad. You put out good, you get back in good. Whatever seed you produce is the seed that's gonna grow. And that's what it boils down to. But this was a really sad situation. I hate that it went down like this. And ladies, this is the reason why we don't get the respect that we demand. And for those of you who are not carrying yourself in this manner, you being a woman, you handling business, you go to work, you take care of your family, you take care of your man, you take care of your kids, you don't mingle and all the madness, all drama. My hat's off to you. I'm glad that there are some of us out there who are trying to do the right thing. We're trying to rise above the stereotype. We're trying to rise above the labels. You out there, you buying property, you graduating from degrees. Don't let this ratchet behavior stop you from pursuing your dreams. Somebody got to be different, y'all, because it's too many sisters out here making a lot of us good sisters look bad. So for those of y'all who are doing the right thing, keep doing what you do. Let's outnumber these ratchet helpers and out here, we have to walk a different walk, and it's sad that we got to work 20 times harder to redeem ourselves because of the way the majority of these black women are carrying on, and they love to perform, especially when there's an audience and when there's a camera. They got to really turn up, as they would say, and it's just a poor reflection for what we're supposed to represent. We're supposed to be queen. Okay, and we should carry ourselves as such. Too many people giving themselves the label of queens, and they're nowhere on the level of being a queen. No, my dear, you're not a queen. You are a straight peasant. Okay, because you're not going to catch a queen. You never catch a queen off of her throne. Okay, a queen sits on her throne, meaning that a queen sits on her throne. That's her way of carrying her dignity. So whenever you see two hyenas in the street scrapping, those are not queens, those are peasants. And therefore, they will remain as such. So on that note, I hope my content wasn't too strong today for the most part. I love the fact that I have a lot of sisters who will come on my channel, and most of the time, most of my ladies, they agree with me. Most of my black sisters agree with me. So, just to let all you men know, all black women is not co-signing on ignorant black women behavior. Okay, we all ain't up there rooting and talking about, well, what about what these white women are doing, and what about this Latina? We see our sisters out there carrying on and acting like hyenas, and there's nothing we can do about it, but all we can do is just keep walking and keep it moving and try to better ourselves and stuff. So don't think for a second that we're proud. All of us are not proud with the way our fellow sisters are carrying on, no more than some of you men out there may see some of you brothers doing some jacked up stuff, and you know as a man that's beneath what a man would do. But the only thing you could do is say, well, that's him. One thing I can do is carry myself as a better person, and that's basically all we can do as black women. But ladies, if you got daughters, please talk to them. Please teach them, because one day, they're gonna have to go out there and deal with some obstacles. They're gonna be dealing with hyenas. Teach your daughters that they don't have to fight every battle. They just let some stuff go. It's not always about proving a point. It's not worth your life. It's not worth your energy. But on that note, it has been wonderful. It has been awesome. I want to thank all of you for tuning into my channel. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the support. Thank you for commentating, even if we disagree. I still thank you for stopping by and viewing. Thanks for the donations. For those who can't donate, I still appreciate you anyway, just giving me your time, your dedication, and understand that when I get commercials that come on, and you don't click through those commercials, I get compensated for that. So you can still pay me without even paying me, just by not clicking through the commercials. I know a lot of people are not aware of that, but it's very true. So again, I want to thank all of you, and I'm going to sign off. This is your girl, Lady Mocha, representing from Mocha's Cafe de Paris. Remember, I'm going to always pour you a cup of truth, and I will always break you off with a slice of knowledge. Y'all have a wonderful day, and make sure you thumb up and you hit that notification bell so you don't miss out when I go live. Talk to you guys and you ladies soon. Be blessed.